Hey guys, we got another update. We're starting this week in ZBrush, which is a program I use for sculpting. We got two character sculpts done today, or this week, I should say, not today. So we're going to be showcasing their character designs and kind of going through how they behave and how they're going to play like. So this one here, this is called a Reaver, and this will use dual wielding axes, and he will be heavily focused on combinations and parrying. So he will parry your attacks and counter pretty heavily. So you got to be kind of careful with how he operates. Each enemy will have a unique play style and have different behavioral trees. So he will operate on a very different tree behavioral system than your typical NPC. You can see here he has a similar helmet style to the main character with the Shizak, with the chainmail coming off from the helmet covering the mouth and the neck. It's a nice protective style of armor. He also is covered with leather plates, I guess you would call it, and metal mounted over top of it with rivets. So it's very much like a composite style gauntlets, composite style greaves and boots, and then a composite style chest guard and torso, back, I guess, anything you want to call it. A nice big leather pauldron on this side, and then an asymmetrical heavier pauldron with metal plates on it on the back. Nice little scarf for just some extra variety in the character. So a medium armor style character, two axes, going to be relatively intimidating, focusing on parries. So what you would want to do with this guy is to stun him first and follow up with an attack. If you attack him nakedly, he will parry you and counter you. So you don't want to do that. So yeah, that's the Reaver. Now we're going to go into here and select the eyes here and highlight. Oops. This. And now this is the Berserker character. This is a two-handed axe, Dane axe wielding character with a mutilated bear pelt with his jaws splayed open like that, and then extra teeth added for extra intimidation factor. Over a helmet, no chest protection, open chested, big heavy leather pauldron, a little bit cleaner, a little bit neater than the Reavers. And then you got some leather wraps and bracers. And this is all leather on it, all hardened leather, so a little bit less armor protection. Similar boots and baggy pants for mobility, and then just a pelt waist, and obviously a giant belt with metal medallions on it. Very big character, very muscular character, relies a lot on his strength, and will be a stun focused character, so he will stun you first and then follow up with a really heavy, devastating attack. So you want to get out of the way when he hits you, because he's going to take a lot of your health away. And he has stun attacks, so you got to be careful. Lots of health, stun attacks, dangerous character all around. Big guy, generally one you don't want to fight too often. So that is the Berserker character. Nice thick pelts on the back and waist, and honestly, fur is a pretty good level of protection. There is a reason that lions have thick manes, and it actually makes it really hard to damage their necks. A good full mane is actually a really good level of protection. Hair fibers, especially in abundance, can be pretty powerful form of armor. So keep that in mind when you have big leather, big pieces of leather which can be treated and hardened, and lots of fur can be actually a pretty suitable piece of armor. So yeah, that is the artwork aspect of it. Now we're going to get into some gameplay here, if it will let us. And we're going to showcase the fixes that we've made. So let's get right into it. So right away, I just want to kill the one so that I don't have to deal with both of them attacking me at once. But we're just going to showcase. So we're going to miss him on purpose, and he's going to come to our left side. And now we are blocking because we are in the reverse stance. So every time he attacks, he's to my left. He's not focused. So we are blocking all of his attacks because we are in the right stance. We can do the same over here. If we're in orthodox, everything he does, we're already over to the right, so we can block it. So right now, this is a little exploitive, obviously, but that's part of setting up the game and showcasing the fixes that we've made and done. So we will be, this is not a finished product, right? He should be hitting critical here, but something's going on with that. So we cleared him out, and now we're going to show off the artwork that we've done. So we've plugged in some detail on the harbor side. You can see there we have a little bit of fortifications over here. All you're going to see is the gate. We don't have anything else added to that, so or the gateway, I should say. We do not have anything extra, so we're not going to go in and show that off. Made a little signpost here. We're going to add some decals. So like for that side and for the harbor and the auction and all the stuff going on here. We have the gateway here. We have the assets here. Nice, big, beautiful assets. And then we got a bunch of buildings here that we put together. A log house without the fortification. We've showed the fortification side before. Haven't showed it without it. And obviously it's very dark in here because it's dark. There's no light coming in, so we can play around with lights later. We're just kind of blocking everything in. We got a log house with the wood shack style roof with thatching, and that looks really cool as well. And we got just your basic wooden shack here that keeps everything looking nice and cool. So a lot of different varieties that we can make with these assets. So yeah, another big old tree here, or big old shack here. Classic style. You got two over here. And obviously the ships are both ready to rock and roll. We made a small fix to the ship. We added some extra clutter. You can see here some rope wrapping around that barrel. We pushed the benches back a little bit more spaced out. They were right next to each other before, so we fixed that. And obviously the sails are blowing in the wind nicely. So that's all nice and good. And yeah, this is the highlight of this week. We got 2 character sculpts done. That is humongous amount of work. If you're not familiar with the work and detail that goes into the character sculpts, it's quite a bit of work, and it's usually not that fast of a process, but we managed to get it done. So I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy that I just took this morning to add all of this stuff to the harbor to kind of help bring it a bit more to life. We're going to add a lot more art into here, and we're going to start adding some obstacles and stuff so that when we place enemies in here, we can interact with the environment a bit more. Right now, it's just kind of like a room and enemies thrown in, so we're going to work with that. We're going to get a whole bunch of stuff done, and I think it's going to really come together. It does not take a whole lot of, like, I was able to put all of this in here in like 3 hours of just planning around and playing with stuff. So we can get a lot of work done when we have the assets built and we're ready to plug them in. We're going to be building new assets next week. We're going to start retopologizing, baking, and texturing the character models that I've sculpted. Sculpting is usually the longest part of the process. So now that we've knocked those both out in a week, I'm hoping that I can have them skinned, or I can have them remodeled and textured for next week as well. Oh, next week's a short week, so probably not. So we're probably going to focus on the harbor stuff next week, and then the week after. Oh wait, no. Sorry, my work schedule is weird. We've changed how the work schedule works. So yeah, we're definitely, because it's actually a long week next week off. So we're definitely going to have low poly models with textures of those two characters. We're definitely going to have more harbor stuff done. That is for sure, because I don't have to start my work week till Saturday next week because of a power outage. So that is going to be big. So thanks for hanging out, guys. Quite a few things to cover. We got done in a pretty good amount of time. So we'll catch you next week. Thanks for hanging out.